So hi, today going to be looking at the animations for our character here. Last couple of last couple of sessions, I've pretty much did a lot of C++ and not a whole lot in the editor. I still have plans to do a decent amount of C++, but some of this just has to be done in the editor. So we'll be spending some more time in here. So right now I just have these three animations imported, and I'm actually not going to use any of these. I'm actually going to have to get a new skeletal mesh for her. And I'll show you why. If we go to her skeleton, you'll see that she has no root bone. Like the root of all of her movement is her hips, and that can cause things like, if you look at the walk forward, I'm going to zoom out a little. You see this line here, how it's wavy? So it can cause weird things and make animation a little tough. So what I'm going to do is convert the FBXs that I downloaded from Mixamo to add that root bone. So to do that, I have this is Blender, which is a 3D modeling program. I work on this too, and I have a one in progress as of today. Probably will have come out before this one, actually. Anyway, if you go to Preferences under Extensions in 5.0 anyway, what you're looking for is called, I just searched for Mixamo, and import Mixamo root motion. And so I installed that. And then if you bring up your thing and you just type Mixamo, it's right here, file import Mixamo. And what this will do is it'll have you pick a folder. So I put all my animations and her skeleton and her mesh in this folder. I'm not sure if I have to select them all or if I could just say import, but I selected them all every time I've tried so far, and hit import. And at first it looks like it's not doing anything, but then there she is, she appears with her skeleton intact. And if you look at it, there's her root bone right there. Now if you look at her armature, actually if we go to the dope sheet action editor, you can see that she has all of her animations imported. And these, I'm not going to use most of these to start with. What I'm going to use first is search one of these walking ones. Maybe this one. I'm not sure if how different they are, but let's bring her colors into it. Whoa, did it not import her material, or is it because... There we go. I guess that's a bug. Maybe must be because I had the armature selected. Let me change the armature to be in front so I can see what I'm doing with her bones, although I probably won't need to. Actually, I probably won't need to mess with them here. So I make sure these all kind of worked out. Okay. Stop. Okay. I'm not going to use those right away either. Right now, I just want the walking, and I think I have a running. Don't want to rename it. I want to search. Okay. So I have a running cycle. I have, looks like I have a running to stop, but not a start running. Well, figure that stuff out later. Let's see. That's a good stop. Okay. Might have to do some of my own animations and whatnot. So I'm going to actually save this file for in case I need to make any changes. I'm actually going to put it in my project. So I'll make a new folder. I'm going to call it resources. I'll just stick it in there for now. Okay, save that, and now select armature, and we're going to export it to FBX. See, I want to limit to selected objects. I want it to be, it's negative Y forward, I think. Let me check. She's rotated, if I remember right. So positive Y forward. And once that's exported, which I don't get any feedback, but I think it's probably exported, I'm going to come back over here. There's no data to import. Oh, so didn't export properly. Well, okay, I figured it out, but I didn't figure it out. I got it to import. Blender, why did you put this extra root thing in there? What did I mess up on the export? What does that say? Armature FBX node type. Well, I think it'll still be okay. Because root and SK Amy are both in the same position. But that begs the question. Hold on, let me look at this armature here. I actually think that's okay. So what my concern was that if that extra bone on the Unreal side is going to cause problems, but I don't think that it will because they're always going to be on top of each other. Hi, I'm going to try this again. So I just spent the last like 2 hours in what is basically a big long blooper reel. If you look at the skeleton here, right? So you see the root bone here are actually the hips, not down here, right? And that's going to have all kinds of effects on animation and whatnot, right? So for example, with this right now, so let's go to the animation blueprint, which is here, right? So here's our, let's change this to the walking animation. Okay, well, also let's make sure that it is looping. See how she's kind of like bouncing back and forth like that? It's not really, just doesn't look quite right. So to fix that, I needed to go into Blender here. And I've already done all the work. So see, here she is, right? So what I did was I found a plugin or an extension. It's right here under extensions. Just delete that last search I did. It's called Import Mixamo - Root Motion. And I mean, it's right there in the extensions in 5.0 and works pretty well. So if I just search for it, just search for Mixamo, it's the first thing I have right here. It lets you pick a folder. And really, I just left all these options alone. And it created, it imported her and her material and everything else for me, and her armature. And it added a root bone right here, you see. And I believe it should have fixed the animations as well to use the root bone because it's moving along with it. See? So you do that and then export it. And this is where I got hung up, right? So I go here, go export as FBX. I had to fix some of these options here to make it work right for starters. Apply scalings was initially set to all local, I believe. I needed to change it to FBX unit scale. Y forward Z up. And I think that's all in transform. And then in armature, add leaf bones was checked. I wanted to uncheck that. That adds a bunch of bones that I don't need. And then, yeah, that's all I had to change there. But what also tripped me up was I renamed the object here because that's just what I do by habit when I'm working in Blender. And when I exported it from here and re-imported it into here, oh, I deleted it. It was creating an extra level above the root bone with the name of the object. So if I named it, say, Amy, there would have been a bone. I'll go to the skeleton there. There would have been a bone above, say, hips here that was called Amy. And then there would be another one called root, which is the root bone that was added. And I do want that, but I don't want that top one that was called Amy. So anyway, I figured out the issue was a bug in Blender that has a workaround in Unreal, but only if the name of the object is armature. So it has to be armature. Anyway, that's what I did over on the Blender side. And now over here, what we need to do is I need to import the FBX I exported before. I already did this, so I know it should work. First time around, I go over to animations, make sure import animations is turned off. And skeletal meshes, import, where are you? There we go, import skeletal meshes is turned on. So that'll bring in the skeletal mesh and the skeleton. So first thing we could do well, look at the skeleton first. You see she's root, hips. So the bug was putting another item above root called whatever the name of the object was. Okay, so that should be all I need to do with her skeleton. Let's get her. I'm gonna rename it too, but let's get her Amy material on her, and save that, and let's rename these guys. So the skeleton, we're just gonna say SK Amy, and the skeletal mesh will be SKM Amy. Let's rename this to old or no root. We'll delete that later. In fact, why don't I make a folder for this? There we go. While we're in the skeletal mesh, let's set the physics asset also. Just search for it. Okay. Now she has a physics asset. All right, now let's import the animations. Actually, let's move SKM to here. Oh, it won't let me probably. Yeah, I need to rename these guys. Okay, I'm just doing the same thing here. Let's import those folders and let's import those animations now. So say open the same FBX. This time go to animations and say import only animations and import animations. And then we need to set a skeleton to the skeleton we just imported. There we have it. We have all of our animations, and they're named terribly. So let's organize at least as we go. So walk cycle. Right, and let's find the walking animation. Okay, there's something weird going on when I enable root motion. That's odd. I wonder if the animation is something else is moving in the animation. So let's see. For this one, I don't actually need root motion because I'll be moving it anyway. But I'm really curious, like why? Where is that extra movement coming from? All right, well, that'll be fine for our needs anyway. So let's save this, and we're going to have to create a new animation blueprint. I should probably make a folder for blueprints. Okay, let's make an animation blueprint with the correct skeleton. Oh, I need to create a class for this, don't I? Okay, let's do that real quick and then I'll do it. So I could put it in I guess I'll put it into characters for now, but I'm not sure if I'll need to subclass this or not, but I'm going to call it base. Okay. I'm going to just leave it empty for now. I just want to be able to use this as I build out the functionality. So now I should be able to create that animation blueprint. Now, let's just start with like what we had before, to make sure that everything is still working. Actually, let's use the walking animation. Okay. She's obviously a little bit off the floor, and it's kind of a clunky animation. But it's working. Let me see. That might fix it. I think it's also that she's slightly off the ground. So yeah, I'll fix that later. That's fine. Save this, close it so it doesn't. We'll come back to that. Now, okay, so instead of doing this, what I want to have is a state machine. Call it locomotion. I'll just hook that up right there. And then let's see. I want to add a state. Call it idle. And in the idle, we will put one of her idle animations. I think it was 2 that I liked for this. Okay, and this needs to be looping. Okay. And then we also need to have another state coming out of here. We're going to keep this simple for now and we'll build it up. But a state of walk or walk cycle. But it could be running or crouching or swimming. Maybe just cycle. And then in there, we'll put the walking. Now we need to, now we need to add a transition back. Now we need to figure out these rules. It's gonna give me a warning if I compile right now. See, it'll never be taken. But, if we also delete that, if we need to change the skeletal mesh here and the animation blueprint there. That will help. Okay. We're in the idle pose. Not the one I probably should use in the end, but it's fine for now. So really what we need now, this is why I created the subclasses, we need to start building out variables that, can tell if it can enter the transition or not, right? So I'm gonna jump over to C++, and this is the header. So we need to override a couple of functions. We need, I'm just not sure if they're public or not. Let's look. So it's called native initialize animation. That is public. I don't need the C++. Wrong button there. Okay, public. I need that one too. Yes. Ryder, what are you doing? You're drunk. There you go. All I need to do, all I really want to do here is grab the owning pawn. Is there a templated version of it? No. So what I really want it to be is an A Mayday. I want one of these guys. Okay, well now this actually needs to be a member variable, so let's do that. We'll forward declare that, and it probably is complaining because it wants a U property. Yes. Okay, now we can, and then we're gonna do a check. What don't you like? You want it to be wrapped in a text macro? No. Well, sort of, but... Oh, you added the parenthesis for me. Thank you. Okay, so, I don't know if I want to do it. I think I'm okay with the check F for now. I don't, if this comes up, like, sometimes stuff like this can crash the editor. But I think in this stage, it should be fine. And then in native update animation, what I need is to start setting variables, right? So let's see, what variables do we need? We need if we're moving or not. So really we just need like a boolean, right? For a lot of these. So let's get back to that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make a protected section here. Animation. Okay. Bool B is accelerating. Is moving. Do I want moving? Or do I want actually we'll do accelerating. Okay, and I want to do another property like this. And I want to get do I want a velocity? I probably will need it. But I don't, I think I want a float movement speed. There we go. I think that's all we'll do for now. All right, so basically now here we can go and then I do want to set velocity Z to 0. Don't want to normalize it. I just want to get the size. So movement. There we go. And let's see, for B is accelerating. Is there really an is accelerating? No, I didn't think so. I think though I can get character movement, acceleration. Oh, what don't you like about this? Oh, isn't it like get acceleration? Get current acceleration. There we go. That should get us our B is accelerating and our native update, and our velocity. We'll need a lot more than this, so I probably want to think about organizing this now. It'd be easier to think about it by looking at the variables. So accelerating and movement speed are both locomotion, since that's what we're working on right now. Okay, well, I guess I'm not sure what patterns are going to emerge yet, so I'll just leave it be for now, but I'll try and keep that in mind. So assuming I didn't make any typos, this should get us what we need for the animation. It did not like. That's what I'm talking about. It's kind of stuff like that. Now it's just going to do exceptions all over the place, so I have to just stop it. So, obviously that does not work right at that time. Which is unfortunate. Which probably means that I'm going to have to do a... Does this work in C++? No. How about this? No. I mean... Okay, and then, at this point, what do I do? I guess just return. But I'm gonna change the style. There we go. So we'll take this out. Let's try it again. Preview mesh hierarchy. No, what are we trying to open now? Oh, okay, well that's fine. I can fix that. Okay, so what are you complaining about? Whatever, okay. Okay, wait, why? I was editing the wrong route, the wrong thing this whole time. Oh no, this was from before, okay. There we go. So we are in the anim graph and just walking. So I was creating it in the wrong one. Oh, silly me. Okay. So we'll start it. We'll do it again, I guess. State machine. Locomotion. Look it up. Add state. Idle. Add state. Cycle. Put another one back there. All right. Inside of idle, we used okay. Why is everything missing though? Let's see. Because they all just disappeared. Why? What happened? Oh, when the stupid thing crashed, I probably had a whole bunch of unsaved stuff. Okay, I'll do this again. Okay, now this time, let's make sure we save all. And then, now let's find the right one. I don't know if I like this one either, but it's all right. She's on guard, I guess. And this one is going to be walking. Okay, and then to get into the state, we need to be, we need to grab that new is accelerating. Set that to true. And then on the other side, we need to get is accelerating and a not boolean. Do that. Now, this is super simplified. It'll get more complex, but that should be enough. No, he's always just walking. Okay. Okay, why is that? Oh, probably because, yep. Save that. Now let's try it. Standing there. Nice. Now obviously I only have one direction programmed, but I just wanted to get the super basics in place first, just to make sure that it was plausible what I was thinking. Okay. I'm gonna take a break and I'll pick this up in a little bit. So, bye.